We're doing our dance party. We do it every Thursday. We draw from this bin, and these are your video challenges. So those of you that are in my Facebook group, every time when you all join, you answer the question, what is your biggest video challenge? Those are all in this bin. Maybe not all of them, but a good portion of them. And every Thursday, we draw from this. Listen to that wonderful sound. But we start with a little dance party. You got to get the vibrations up. You got to knock off the cobwebs. You got to get loose. You got to have a little fun. Join me. Have some fun with me. All right. Enough of the music, Jamie. It's just getting going, though. I know. All right. Let's draw. Let's see what we get. Which one's wanting to come out here? Let's see here. Okay. This one's it. This is it. It's going to be a good one. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, can I delete? Can I delete? And when should I delete? That's what that says. When. Okay. So specifically, I remember this one. This is, if my video is a train wreck, can I delete it? Who has ever experienced that? Okay. Whether you are joining me live, I see a number of you are on, or you are watching on the replay. Have you ever wanted to delete a video as soon as it was over? Or maybe not even as soon as it's over. Have you ever wanted to delete a video right as smack in the middle of it? Yeah. All of us have, right? That's an inner critter in here saying, this sucks. This is horrible. What are you doing? Stop. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I know that's not what the thing says, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Let me answer this question first. So if you go live and it is truly a train wreck, yes, you can delete it. I'll show you how to delete it. Okay. Yes, you can delete it. But what I would caution you is, are you being too critical of yourself? Maybe, right? How bad is bad enough to delete? That's probably a really good question. All right. So I'd love to know, those of you, how do you assess how bad something has to be, specifically a video, how bad a video has to be before you say, I'm deleting it? Okay. What would be something that you would be like, that is delete worthy? Seriously, I want to know what you all think. Okay. So, oh, it's good to see all these faces. I love it. Well, I'm seeing your faces in the comments. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. Sherry has deleted it. Yes. We all have, right? Okay. Why? What makes it delete worthy? How bad does it need to be for you to be like, that's got to go, got to be deleted? I think oftentimes we get so critical of ourselves that we think if it is not perfect, if I was not perfect, then it should be deleted. That's what I want you to resist, because we are imperfect beings. Imperfect action is better than no action. Okay. So I would encourage you not to delete it if you just think, well, that kind of sucked. That wasn't so good. But there are reasons why you'd want to delete it. Sherry's got one. Some sort of emergency comes up. Yeah. Or even, I mean, I've deleted videos where a minute in, something's wonky. The sound is off, or the audio is not working, or people can't hear me. I've deleted them if Otis goes off and he's barking and it's just distracting. But I delete it and then I go live again and change it. Yeah, Sherry's got some sort of chaos in the background, like Otis, would be a good reason to delete. Okay. Okay. No value. This is an interesting one. Now, if it's no value in that, like you got off on a tangent and it was I don't know. I think sometimes value is in the eye of the viewer. I think sometimes we can be so critical of ourselves and we think, well, that wasn't valuable, and it's valuable to our viewer. Remember, oftentimes your viewers are just a step behind you. You are an expert because you have this much more knowledge than the person that you may be helping. In some cases, right? The example that I give you guys all the time is this flip stick. Okay. I freaking love these little things. I can't tell you how often I use them, right? They're like $15. I even have an affiliate link if you want it. The minute I got it and slapped it on and used it for the first time, I was like, I got to tell everybody about this. Am I an expert in this thing? No, I just bought it last night, got it today, and now I'm telling you about it. Okay. I know more about this because I bought it one day before you did. That still gives you expertise. Okay. So when you're talking about value, oftentimes you look at the things that you may teach and you think, oh, this is so simple. This is so easy. Duh. Of course. But the reality is that may be exactly what they need. So don't discount discount the value that you give. Okay. All right. Let's see what you got. Yeah, definitely no sound, no audio would be definitely reasons why you'd want to delete. Okay, let me show you how to delete. We're going to do a screen share here. Hang on, I got to get in there. It takes a minute here inside of StreamYard to get over there. Okay. All right, so you should be seeing Facebook. Hopefully you're seeing Facebook. Okay, let me see if I can find a video. You can only delete your own videos. So let's say I'm scrolling. Hang on, I'll find one. Okay, let's say I want to delete this video. I did not, but let's say that I do. You go to where your video is, and the 3 little ellipses over here on the right-hand side. You click on that, delete post, right there. It's that simple. Delete post. That's it, and it's gone. This is inside a group, but it works the same way wherever else you might be. Stop sharing, back to StreamYard. Okay, so that is how easy it is to delete. I love that you guys are saying, I deleted, did a voiceover and reposted. That's great. I've often just done like a take 2. I know Sherry has done several take 2s. I've done a take 2 where I've deleted a video and then I started again, mostly because I had some sort of challenge. Okay, so for those of you that are just joining, it is, can I delete my video and when should I delete video? So I think I've answered both of those questions. But I want to spend some time and talk about what may be underneath this, this notion of it's got to be perfect, or I think what I said earlier is the critter in your head. I'm quoting Susan Goodson. She calls it the critter in your head. That inner voice that tells you that's not good enough. It sucks. It stinks. It's yucky. And what the heck do you do with that voice? So I've learned a number of things about that voice over the last 51 years that I've been alive, but mostly in the last probably years, I've really tried to get control of Gertrude. So I name the voice. Her name is Gertrude. She looks like that character with the glasses from Monsters, Inc. That's what she looks like. And I talk to her, not in a weird, crazy, loony way, but I often will say, not right now, Gertrude. What I learned from Patty Mays recently is I'll send Gertrude to the coffee shop. I'll say, Gertrude, not right now. Go to the coffee shop. You can come back later because I got to do this video. I can't have you interrupting my video because that throws me off my being present. It throws me off my vibe. It's not the energy that I want to create. So it's like sending her to timeout. Okay. So that's one thing you can do. The other thing you can do, and this is what I'm learning most recently, mostly from May, is to actually have a conversation with her, talk to her and say, all right, Gertrude, you got 5 minutes. You're clearly trying to tell me something. What are you trying to say? And listen, doesn't mean I have to agree with her. Doesn't mean that I have to do what she's saying. But honestly, it kind of backs her up a little bit. And she's like, wait a minute. You actually want to talk to me? You want to hear what I have to say? All right, here's what I'm trying to get across to you. Sometimes there's a lesson in there for us because let's face it, the inner voice is us. The inner voice is telling us something. So you can either tell her, time out, go to the coffee shop, or lean in and be like, what is the message here? But put a timer on it so that she doesn't completely take over. And I'm saying she because I'm thinking of Gertrude, but yours might be a he. It might be a little troll. It could be a dragon. It could be whatever you want it to be. But having that visual and naming it just makes it easier to tell her off. Like here's the thing that I tell people all the time. If someone were to actually, like another person, were to say to you the things that you say to yourself, what would you do to that person? You're probably going to be like, I don't need you in my life. Like that is not helpful at all. Now you might tell them off. You might give them the boot. You got a whole lot of choices. Well, you can do the same things to your inner voice. You can't necessarily give her the boot completely, but you can send her to the coffee shop. So try it and see if it doesn't work. Okay. So we are talking about, can I delete my video? When should I delete my videos? I showed you how, and we've been talking a little bit about what's causing us to feel like we should delete it. Okay. So I want to know from you guys, what questions you have about any of this, whether it's the deletion, the reasons to delete it, or this whole inner voice conversation. What else you guys want to talk about? I'm going to scan through the comments while you are all thinking. And you know what? Today's may be a short one. This was a pretty short, quick, easy answer. All right, let's see here. What do we have here? I'm reading the text, so I know my eye contact is crap, but that's okay. Yes, you are allowed to tell her off. for sure. You're allowed to tell her off and you're allowed to listen to her. You're actually allowed to give her a hug if you want to. Just saying. She is you. Keep that in mind. Okay. You guys got nothing? Nothing else you want to talk about? Should we draw another one? Let's draw another one. It's only been 10 minutes. Let's draw another one. Why not? We got time. You're all here. It's a twofer. It's a 2-for-1 today. Ooh. I'm not energetic. I'm not energetic. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. Anybody feel this? Anybody that's on with me live, or if you're watching on replay, how many of you have ever felt like this? I'm not energetic enough. Now that could be just in general, like I'm in general not energetic enough, or it could be I'm not energetic enough today, like in this moment right now as I'm about to go live. Anybody ever felt that? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about each of those. If you're feeling overall, actually, let's do this one first. Let's do the easier one first. I'm going to do my live and I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling like I've got the energy that I need for that particular live. Okay. So what could you do? What are some things you could do to find that energy? Is it possible to find energy? What say you on this? Obviously, if I'm asking the question, I believe you can find the energy. Sometimes it is just doing something that lights you up before you go live. So if you're scheduled to go live at 11 o'clock, let's just say it's at 11 o'clock, and at 10 minutes until 11 o'clock, you're like, I'm just not feeling it. What could you do? Okay, so Gulnara says, yep, I wasn't energetic in my live today. How did that feel? How did that go? Sherry says, yes, me. All right, I like this. Stephanie says, often and most definitely recently. Yeah, because Stephanie, I know, is going through some stuff in her personal life, and it's understandable that she has felt this way. All right, Gulnara says, dance. Yes. Turn up the music and dance. Just get some movement, get some energy. You would be surprised at what this is going to do to your energy. It pumps you up, right? Sherry says the same thing. Jam the hype music. Yes. What's your go-to music that gets you feeling that way, right? It could be the music that you clean the house to, because nobody wants to clean their house. No one wants to. I mean, very few people actually like it. We like the result after it, but we don't want to actually do it. Nobody wakes up and says, oh, I get to vacuum today. Yay, right? So what do? You turn up the music and you dance with your vacuum, and somehow it makes it more fun. So if you're feeling that way about your energy before a live, what can you do to increase that, to find that energy? Dance, go for a walk. Play some music, call a friend, message somebody that's in your circle that makes you laugh, that gives you energy. For some, it might just be, I need a moment of quiet. I need some peace. I need to connect with myself. Take some breaths, some exhales, and you're going to get more energy. You got to find what's going to do that for you when you've just lost it. Okay. Now let's specifically talk about, like Stephanie is sharing, given personal circumstances, what's happening right now, I'm just not feeling it. Okay, let's talk about that, because that's real world, right? It's okay to cancel those things. It's okay to say, I'm not okay today. This is not the energy that I want to show up with. And so I'm not going to show up with it. If I can't turn it around by doing the things we just talked about, then am I going to do more harm than good by showing up with not the energy that I want? Because your people feel that. Your people feel that energy. I'm shaking my desk too much. You see that camera moving? I'm so passionate about this. I'm wiggling my desk. Okay. So you have permission. You have permission to say, this week, it's not going to happen. Or maybe it's just this day. Maybe today is not the right day, but tomorrow I'll be good. Reschedule that. It's okay. You have permission to do that. It's your business. You can do what you want. That's the beauty of it. Okay. Your people are going to understand, especially if you share with them. And I know that's sometimes hard. And we think, this is my personal life and I need to be all business all the time. No, you don't. You're a real person with real feelings. And by sharing your feelings, people are going to connect with you on a deeper level. So if you go to your people and you just put a post, you don't even do a live, you just do a post and say, You all, I don't have the energy today. This is what's going on in my life. I'll be back next week. I just need a couple of days. You're going to be amazed at the support you're going to get from your people. I promise you. Okay. I hope this helps. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Gulnara says, it did go well. I was more focused. Interesting, huh? So don't discount that feeling. It could be the universe sending a sign to you. I like it, Gulnara. I like it a lot. Okay. Slow in breathing to activate my sympathetic has been helping recently. Felt like the opposite of what I should do. Oh, I love that. Similar to what Gulnara was saying, right? Yes. I love this. So Stephanie says, something I just remember we talked about is standing up when you're doing your live. Yes. Okay. So this really gets into, oftentimes, the bigger picture here. I'm not energetic in general. If you are sedentary, if you are seated and you are not somebody who uses your arms and moves, and I know I can tend to overdo it, your voice will also be sedentary. You won't seem energetic. Most of the time, you probably have energy in your life. You have energy with your kids. You have energy with your spouse. You have energy with your dogs. You get on the floor and play tug of war. That's energy. So it's not that you are not energetic as a person. It's that when you are on live, something happens and your energy doesn't come out. Standing up is a great one. Moving your arms, moving your body in motion, your voice will be in motion. You're going to see a difference in your energy. Okay. Let's see here. Sherry says, do a live about having a bad day and be relatable. Yes. Yes. It's real world. We need more real world. We as coaches and online business entrepreneurs, we need to be talking about real life for sure. Okay, right now my nose is itching, which means somebody is talking about me or thinking about me. Isn't that what it is? Okay, so the other thing that I want to talk about here on this energy thing is that oftentimes we feel like I am more reserved. I am more of a quiet person. I am an introvert. I am whatever. And because of that, I can't go live because I don't have the right energy. And what I would tell you is that you can show whatever energy you want to show, but you have to keep in mind who you are as a person and who your clients are. What kind of energy do they want from you? So the best example that I can give you is if you are coaching people who are maybe dealing with depression. If all of a sudden you come on and in your lives, you're like, hey, how you guys doing? What's happening? Like a crazy person, they're not going to be connected with you. It's a mismatch. Okay. It's also a mismatch if you're not that way in life. Don't try to be something that you are not. Don't try to be overly energetic if you are not an engaging, over the top kind of person. You won't be able to keep up with it. It will exhaust you because you're not being your real authentic self. But there's a difference between and sharing passion and sharing excitement for what you're talking about. Okay. So let me think of something. I need something to read. Okay, here we go. We're going to use Wanda. You guys haven't met Wanda yet. Some of you have, some of you haven't. Wanda is, you're just going to have to wait for it. Okay. So I'm just going to read what's on the back of this. So you tell me what resonates with you. Okay. Option 1. Oh my gosh. Not all batteries are created equal. Not all batteries are created equal. Okay. High energy, over the top, ridiculous. Yes? Okay. Or there's not all batteries are created equal. Okay. You see the difference between the two. Okay. Now, two extremes, two ends of that spectrum. High energy, low energy. There's also a middle ground. And I think oftentimes we think that those are the only two options. Being flat and boring and dull, stale, or being bleh. There's middle ground. Okay. So here's the third option. This is so cool. You're going to like this. Not all batteries are created equal. Okay. I wasn't over the top. I wasn't freaking out. I didn't have this crazy wild energy, but you likely could feel my passion for this statement. Find that middle ground for you. It's like a scale. Where in the scale are you going to land? You got to figure out where that right space is. But don't just think that there's just those two extremes, either not energetic and very energetic. There's lots of space in the middle. And so be true to yourself, be true to what your clients are going through, and also recognize, back to Gulnara's point and whoever else was talking about this kind of idea, different topics, different ideas that you're covering in your videos could have different levels of energy. If you're talking about something that's more serious, you might have a more serious tone. If you're talking about something fun, you're going to have a different tone. And we need all of that. Oftentimes, back to what Gulnara said, she said it went really well. It was very focused when she wasn't energetic during her live. It probably was different than what she normally shows up. And as a result, people tuned in because this is different. What's going on with her? And either side of that is true. Sherry wants me to do that again. Oh no, you have to watch the replay for that. I couldn't repeat it again if I wanted to. It wouldn't have the same. Bleh. Okay. Barbara says the truth about our energy and how we show up. Absolutely. It is a muscle you strengthen. One of the things I've talked about before, and then I'll wrap this up unless you guys have other questions, is you get to create the environment around you. You get to. So let's just tackle a Facebook group. You get to create the energy and the environment in that Facebook group. What do you want it to be? What do you want your viewers to think and feel after they've watched your videos, after they've engaged with you? Do you want them to be, oh, that was such good, thought-provoking. I loved that. That was so good. Versus, do you want people to be like, oh my gosh, that was so fun. I can't wait to do another one. Both are acceptable. And you may create a world where you have both of those given the topics that you're covering. But you get to decide how you want your people to feel. And your energy creates that. So one of the things that I tell some of my clients is, we've talked a number of times about your, I'm getting a prop. Hold on. This poor prop, I need to laminate these. What you're going to talk about, your map, if you will, your Post-it note model of what you're going to talk about. Sometimes right before I will go live, I will stop and think about what energy do I want my people to get after this? And I'll actually write it on a Post-it or write it somewhere else. I'll write the word high energy, or I'll write the word serious tone, or I'll write the word fun, or whatever speaks to me or comes to me in that moment. So that when I get ready to start my live video, I'm not only focused on here's what I'm going to cover, but I'm focused on what energy am I going to bring, because this is the energy I want them to feel. And I'm using the word energy because that's what we've been talking about with energy today. But it could be a value, right? Many of you as entrepreneurs and business owners, you have a certain set of values. Well, which value do you want your people to feel in that video? Put that on your map and kind of channel that energy, channel that value as you go live so that they feel it and get a sense of it during your video. Okay, what questions do you have about either of these? This twofer today, we talked about when can I delete and I'm not energetic. What questions you got? And those of you that are watching on replay, drop your questions in the comments. I will come in there, I will answer, I will share things, I will engage with you. So if you got them, drop them. Is that a saying? We just created it today. All right. I am not seeing anything else come up. I love it. I love it very, very much. Okay, let's see here. Call to action today. From those of you that were in the Go Live Challenge last week, you've heard me talk about, you got to have a call to action. And so my call to action, I always, this is a little bitty teeny mini lesson. With these, when I'm just drawing out of this bin, I don't map out what I'm talking about. I can't, because I don't know what I'm going to draw. So that means I can't plan my call to action. And many of you have heard me say, it's my nemesis, that call to action and that close is for me, it just doesn't come naturally. I have to really work at it. And so when you're doing something that's more impromptu, so I always have calls to action in my back pocket. I always have some things in my back pocket that I can always pull up when I get to that moment where I'm like, how do I end this? We're going to talk more about closing this month inside the Get on Camera group, and especially for those of you in the Go Live League. We are going to really dive into how do you close, how do you wrap up, how do you leave a lasting impression at the end. So have some of those back pocket calls to action that you can pull up when you just go, my mind's blank, I don't know what I'm going to do. So one of mine, and that's the one that we're going to use today, is of what you learned today, what are you going to apply? We've talked about a number of different things today. What one thing did you learn that you can actually go and implement and do different? I'd love to see some dropped in the comments. Share. The reason why we share is that it cements it. It's no different than when you write things down, right? When you write things down, this is just a form of that. It makes it more permanent. It makes it more like you're calling it out and you're saying, I'm going to do this. So I'd love to know what you're going to do different as a result of anything that you learned today. That's your call to action. Okay. And if you got to think about it and come back, that's okay too. I'll be here to cheer you on. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your Thursday. Keep these video challenges coming in. I love them. And, some of them start to kind of repeat sometimes, but I still love it because we talk about it from a different perspective. And those of you that are on live with me, you add different things that help us take things to different places. So thank you for being here. You guys are fantastic. If I don't talk to you, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.